Thanksgiving night 2016, Bert Summer, a part-time pastor and father of 5, was fixing Christmas lights with his son James. Being a window specialist, Bert was used to scaling ladders. But this time, as he climbed to the second story of his home, he lost his footing. Bert's wife Audrey still remembers.
The next thing I know is I hear the tumbling off of the roof.
Bert fell headfirst 30 feet onto the concrete driveway.
James was like, "Mom!"
He wasn't responding whatsoever. There was about a 3-foot area where it was just covered in blood. This is not good.
I told him, I said, "You're just not gonna die on me. You're not leaving us." And then all of a sudden everything went silent.
My soul was just blowing up. In the name of Jesus, God, protect him right now. Raise him back up.
I was like, okay, God, I know this looks bad. I know this really looks bad. But I need you to take over, and I need you to do what you do.
Paramedics arrived within minutes, but it would take another half hour before they got a pulse. Bert was then transported to the nearest ER, where he was put into a medically induced coma. Bert had suffered a massive brain hemorrhage and, without surgery, wouldn't live through the night. Even then, one neurosurgeon believed an operation would be pointless.
He was like, I am not gonna do the surgery. And I'm like, please do the surgery. And he was like, he's gonna die anyway. And I said, my husband is a beast. You do your part, and God will do his part, and my husband will do his part. You know, don't count him out yet.
Reluctantly, the neurosurgeon agreed to the surgery, and it was a success. The following day, Bert's vitals remained stable, but doctors were still concerned about the possible residual effects.
The left side was paralyzed because of the impact on the right side of the brain. They said that, you know, it could be permanent. I mean, they painted the bleakest picture imaginable.
It was then the reality of what could be began to overwhelm the family.
And when I see all these tubes and him hooked up to all this stuff, I was like, oh, good God. It was heartbreaking. It really was.
What is going to be his quality of life? What if he can't feed himself? What if he can't walk? What if he can't remember he has a wife and kids? I finally just had to turn it over and be like, okay, Lord, I can't do this. I can't sit and what if myself crazy? You know my doubts, you know my fears, you know everything, and you know this man. God just proved himself to me, and that he was the comforter, and that he had it. You know, he had this. This wasn't anything for him. He created my husband, and he was going to take care of him.
I was like, you know what, everything's gonna be fine, because I know who my God is. I know what he's done and what he's capable of. I've read it, I've been taught it, and I've even seen it. And if God don't do it, it's all good. God's still God.
Alongside the Summer family, church members and friends from all over agreed in prayer.
I really drew a lot of strength from just our church people. Whenever I just felt like I couldn't pray anymore, they came in and stood in the gap.
Then, 10 days after his fall, doctors brought Bert out of the coma. Even though he couldn't talk, Audrey knew immediately that her husband was okay.
I was able to see the brown eyes, and he knew that I was there. It was amazing. It was amazing. I was like, okay, God, you didn't fail me. You know, he's here.
I said, Lord, I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure, but I know I need you. Lord, I just want to do your work again. And he said, you will, just trust me.
In the weeks that followed, Bert continued to defy expectations.
His personality, all of his formulas for work, and all of the scriptures and things that he had memorized, everything just came back.
On Christmas Day, the Summer family gathered at the hospital and celebrated their miracle.
God worked in an impossible circumstance, and that's how the miracle happened.
It meant everything. I mean, because we could have very easily been celebrating our first Christmas without him. And to be able to sit there and have our children, my husband and their dad, in total restoration. It was magical. It was really, truly magical.
I was getting better and quicker, and they had taken the fall risk that was on my wrist. That was a big deal to me. I'm not a fall risk anymore. I can walk, I can get up, I can move. It just made me so thankful. God can do a miracle anytime, any place for anybody, and He chose me.
No. A few days after Christmas, Bert was released from the hospital. By March, he was back at his job as a window specialist. And by September, he was back in the pulpit.
It doesn't matter what goes on, doesn't matter what doctors say, people, no matter what. Jesus has the final say regardless.
You never have to question God's character. He is who He says He is. He is the healer. He is the comforter.
The Bible says He's not a respecter of persons. God cares for the drug addict on the street as much as He cares for me, as much as He cares for you. If you needed a miracle today, you could get your miracle today too.